Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sister. So you've written into us about some difficulties you're facing, essentially with your acts of ibadah and feeling like they're not being accepted, and perhaps feeling like this is Allah trying to push you away, that maybe Allah doesn't love you. And I can understand how this must be incredibly distressing to feel this way. But I want to begin by reassuring you that Allah does love you. And I think what you're describing here very much sounds like a case of waswas. So I think it's important to work with your situation with this in mind. The fact that you've reached out to get some help, to get some advice, and you have motivation to change, and to try and, well, not necessarily change, but to do everything you can to try and get through this difficult situation is a good sign, alhamdulillah. And it's a sign of your strength of faith as well. The fact that it's causing you distress is a sign of your faith. Because, if you weren't strong in faith, then it wouldn't be causing you any distress to feel like Allah doesn't love you, or that you're having a hard time feeling like you're maintaining wudu or ghusl. And it's very sad to feel like Allah is trying to push you away from Islam, or that maybe Allah doesn't love you. I can understand how that must feel incredibly distressing. Because, of course, wouldn't we all feel like that if we knew that Allah didn't love us, or that He was trying to push us away? But that simply isn't the truth. Like I said, I think what you're experiencing is a case of the waswas. So it's important for you to try and overcome this. And there are several ways that you can go about this. Naturally, feeling like Allah doesn't love you and He's trying to push you away is going to make you feel the way you are. So it's important to try and kind of snap out of that and realize that what you're experiencing is the waswas. Because we all do get concerned to some extent about how much our acts of ibadah are going to be accepted. Are we doing the right thing? And we might, get anxious about this. And a certain amount of anxiety is good, but when it gets to the point that it's causing you this much distress, then obviously there is a problem here. And this is why we need to look at ways that you can overcome it. Now, in the case of, for example, making wudu, making ghusl, what you can do is, you've gone into it with the right intention, and Allah looks at your intentions. So go in with your intention, make your ghusl, make your wudu, whichever one you're doing, and know that with your best intentions, you've done everything you can, and just leave it at that. Don't go back and do it again. And it can be very difficult the first few times, and you probably will still feel anxious, but you really have to draw the line, and just put your trust in Allah then, and have faith in His mercy as well. And, for the first few times, a good few times you'll do this, and you will still be left feeling anxious. But inshallah, with time and practice of doing this, you'll eventually be able to let go of these feelings that you're having, with the knowledge that you have the right intention. And like I said, it will be hard at first, but it will get easier. And now with regards to, the thoughts that you're having about whether your wudu or your ghusl or anything has been accepted, there are two approaches you can take to this. So you can either ignore them and distract yourself with something else. But this approach is not always so useful, because if you notice, the more you try to push certain thoughts away, such as maybe anxieties about whether you've done wudu correctly, the more you try to push these feelings away, the more they enter your mind, and the more they distract you. So perhaps in your case, the best thing to do would actually be to let yourself experience those feelings and not try and push them away, because trying to push them away will only make those feelings stronger. And then also on a more practical side as well, make sure to, aside from just your wudu and your ghusl, seek refuge with Allah with all your acts, not just when you do wudu and your ghusl, when you eat, when you enter the house, when you enter the bathroom, all the different things that you do. Make sure to seek refuge from shaitan with Allah. Always turn to Him. Remember Allah at all times, and this will keep Allah in mind at all times, which will serve actually to push shaitan away as well, because he knows that he is not winning. Because you are still turning to Allah, you're still making wudu, even though maybe at times you feel anxious that you haven't done it properly. The only way you can defeat shaitan is to carry on with it. Don't let shaitan know that he's winning in this. Continue to turn to Allah. Do other things as well, in terms of getting closer to Allah. Do things like reading the Quran, which actually is a brilliant way to reduce anxiety anyway. regardless of whether you are experiencing waswas or not, reading the Quran, listening to the Quran is a great way to reduce anxiety. And aside from that, doing things to help yourself relax as well. Aside from Islamic activities, if there are things you like doing, places you like going, do engage in these a lot as a means to help you relax as well and to reduce your anxieties more generally, not just in your Islamic acts. So may Allah make it easy for you. May He reward you for reaching out for assistance in trying to get over this and trying to strengthen your relationship with Him. May He continue to protect you from shaitan. May you find comfort in the remembrance of Allah, and may He help you to get through this successfully onto the other side, that you won't be experiencing these difficulties anymore, inshallah.